Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here, and last week in the video on the Samel, there was this elephant in the room that I explicitly ignored. And there's quite literally no running away from it this week. That giant elephant with wings is the Penelope, the second 5th generation mobile suit to make it into Battle Operations 2. With this, the entire battlefield is now flooded with gigantic suits that fly, and anything not the Xi Gundam or the Penelope just look like Zeonic remnants in comparison. To me, that's the best compliment. The suit we're on today to shoot these elephants off the sky is the newly buffed Quasar's Jagd Doga. Holy crap, that hurts. While this suit started at 650 cost, it's certainly not lacking in firepower. But in exchange, the weapons on this suit used to be a handful. Both funnels on the suit overheat on a single use. The Mega Particle Cannon hits really hard but only comes with a normal stagger, so it mostly gets ignored. The defensive options on this suit was also limited, with no uncharged instant staggers and the missiles too slow to hit anything not point blank. But with the new buffs, they changed these things more exactly than my aim could ever be. First of all, the funnels. By reducing the heat rate of the side attack from 60% times 2 to 50% times 2. They now don't overheat immediately. That's some real quality of life improvement. Not only do we get to cycle them like a normal weapon, but we can also force them into overheat for twice the firepower of what we had. Very useful in constantly poking these flying elephants with no risk in return, or suddenly taking them down with the 96% stagger. The second weapon to get buffed is the Shield Mega Particle Cannon. While the firepower remains as powerful as ever, the stagger on each of the 4 beams is increased to 25%, just enough to stagger the Xi Gundam on full hit. Both the Xi and the Penelope only gets accumulation reduction when on thrusters, so the shock dampener part of their flight form alone is not stopping our instant 100% stagger. While it is charging, the skill Beam Diffusion Shield also triggers to block beam attacks on the shield like an eye field, making it an excellent weapon to start an attack. Continuing on the buffs, the next weapon that got buffed are the 6 small missiles. A very simple buff that increased its projectile speed. Now there's way less guesswork involved when aiming these missiles, and it can be reliably used for self-defense thanks to the 25% stagger per hit. Then there's also another new defensive option, Defense Mode Level 2. Similar to Active Guard, by consuming thrusters, you enter a defensive stance that reduces damage taken by 60%, and more importantly, negate all staggers. Very useful to tank what you can already see coming. Penelope down with the small missiles. When not using high maneuver armor, it's as easy to stop as any other suit, but then we make a very poor down attack. With the melee capability of a normal support type, maybe stay away from your own beam saber, just like how you avoid your enemies. Just one more buff to go through on this Jagd Doga, and that's on Quasar's Mega Gatling gun. By drastically increasing its fire rate, the beam Gatling turned from a rather weak machine gun to a truly potent weapon. It requires careful trigger control just like before the buffs, but this time, you're staggering someone within 1 heat gauge no matter what. That being said, it's still a weapon used for its DPS. Against the great flying circus, we need something more staggering. The other main weapon choice on this Jagd Doga is the Jagd Doga Commander Beam Machine Gun. While the raw damage is a lot lower than the Beam Gatling, its stagger potential is way off the chart. With 25% stagger per hit, it fires a burst of 5 quicker than the blink of an eye. 125% in no time is more like a shotgun that requires good aim and recoil control. With no other uncharged instant staggers on this suit, this pseudo shotgun is really important for staggering quickly, and complements the small missiles as a good defending option. We quickly finish up the rest of the enemy team and we can start bombarding their media. With the weapon handling sorted out by the buffs, this Jagd Doga is ready to dish out stagger accumulation like no other. 100% on the Mega Particle Cannon, 150 on the small missiles, 125 on the beam machine gun, 96 on the funnel pincer attack, and 120 on the funnel surround sound. This Doga can accumulate enough stagger to stop anything. The only challenge is to hit enough shots in time. The Mega Particle Cannon requires a really accurate aim to hit all 4 shots at once, while the small missiles and beam machine gun both need good tracking. Hit enough of those and add in some luck with the funnels, and you can solo kill a freshly spawned Xi Gundam. Penelope finally got us. With enough time on the clock, we'll just load our last missile volley on the media immediately, and try to respawn in time. We just have to survive the last wave as a team and the game's set. With decent health and 3 special buffers, so we should be fine ourselves. Also worth adding is our custom parts. With Psychomil missiles flying everywhere right now, it's definitely worth putting on the Psycho package on pretty much any suit if you own one. Increases base health by 1200 while reducing Psychomil weapon damage by 10% is a steal for 8 custom part slots. Also reduces Psychomil hack time by 20%, so just like the Psycho frame, it's good for our funnel heavy suit. That was a great match against a very representative enemy team. With literally just Xi Gundams and Penelopes, they weren't having fun against all the stagger accumulation we have. Other than the Jagd Doga, there's also other support types at 700 that has such stagger accumulation. While not as fast nor as abundant, the Palace Athens has quite some stagger accumulation and is probably worth a try, using a mini death ray to shoot down a Xi before finishing him with the Doomsday missiles. Sounds like a good idea. The Xi Gundam and Penelope may have a huge presence, but they're not enough to scare me from playing support types at 700. Just keep calm, aim well, and keep firing. That's it from me today. Latest.